Good evening, everyone. I am back, and I got another great story for you today. This one is going to be about Tristen Buddy Myers. He went missing, or disappeared rather, on, let's see, let me make sure I get that date right because I put it in like in the middle of the story when I was writing it. He disappeared on October 5th, 2000. But first, like always, and like I've always been saying in all my other videos, I'm going to talk about a ghostly experience I've had since I've been living. And this one is going to be about the time, this is my house, the one I live in now. This was around the first year when I first moved in. I was upstairs in the bathroom getting ready for work, and I heard this like very strange like howl coming from the window right above my bathtub. Now keep in mind I said I was upstairs, so that means I'm 2 stories up, okay? And the sound sounded like it was coming from directly outside of my window, okay? It sounded like it was coming directly outside my window. Now, there is no way, shape, or form that a dog would even be at that level, unless it was a floating dog, and I haven't seen any of those around. Now, also, my neighbor has a pit bull in his backyard, and trust me, there's no way for me to hear a full-on howl from a pit bull outside my window, 2 stories up, okay? Plus the fact the howl that I heard was a very, how can I put this? It was a creepy howl. It was like, I don't even know how to put it. It was like a dog that was in distress, and a dead dog or a zombie dog all rolled up into one. It was the weirdest thing. It was just like, it creeped the heck out of me. I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm handling my business, I'm getting ready for work, and all of a sudden, I hear this howl. It was the god awful howl. It was just like, I can't even describe it. It was just creepy as heck. It literally made my hair stand on me, and it happened like maybe twice. Because I kept looking, and I was like, what the heck? It was weird. But anyway, it was a small one, but very effective. I got another one coming, but that's going to be in my next video. Okay, get back to the matter at hand here. I'm going to talk about, like I said before, Tristen Buddy Myers. Now, this is a story that correlates with the story I told you last night about, right? I gotta stop doing this. About Bruce Sharon. Okay. This happened to, fast forward to about 24 years, 8 months down the road. Okay, this also happened in Roseboro, which was the area where Tristen Buddy Myers stayed in, was actually 1 mile west of where he lived, where Bruce lived. And I think he said it was like, I forgot how many miles. I think they were literally 2 miles apart, basically. And I forgot the amount of the number of how far he was from where Bruce disappeared. But he was very young. It was never mentioned on how old he was. I seen a picture of him, and he looked like he could have been maybe 3-4 years old. So he was young, but not too young. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna get a picture of him. I actually saw the picture of him a while ago. Like when I was looking for a picture of Bruce, little Bruce, but I couldn't find one on him. Because like I said, this happened back in like 1976, and the parents or the aunt probably didn't have a Well, he was on his grandparents' farm, so darn it, I hate it when this happens. I had it on pause and it unpaused itself. So anyway, I did look it up, and I was trying to find a picture of Bruce Sharon, but couldn't find one because he stayed with his grandparents, so they probably didn't have a camera. So I'm going to see if I can find that on here, because I actually took a picture. I mean, I think I did a screenshot. I snapped a screenshot of the little boy, but I think I deleted it a few minutes ago when I was trying to get rid of some photos on my phone. Okay, let's see here. Because I wanted to show you a picture of that little boy. So, Tristen Buddy Myers, here we go. Because when you go to the photo section, you can see pictures of the kids that disappeared, but it's not under the listing for him. So I have to go to Bruce Sharon, because I think that's how I found it. Okay, let's see here. Bruce Sharon photos. Gotta be done. I think this is Bruce Sharon. I'm not sure. Because like I said, this happened in '76. So this thing hurry up and process. I hate it when it takes this long. I figured it wouldn't have that particular photo. Oh boy. Yeah, it's weird because it showed a picture of him on the screen, but it didn't show him on Pinterest, and it's not listing the name of the kid. But I think this might be Tristen Buddy Myers, or not Tristen Buddy Myers, but Bruce Sharon. It's kind of hard to see though because it's black and white. Oh, there we go. It's a black and white photo, so it's kind of hard to see with the glare. But I did see. Oh, here we go. Okay, this here is oh shoot, it's real bright. Jeez. Let me see if I can a little closer. Ah, here we go. This right here, this is Tristen Buddy Myers. Okay. This is him at the time. So now you know what he looks like. But yeah, so what happened was he not if there's ever a really crazy story about any kid that you ever read, this is definitely one of them, because he was the child of an exotic dancer. She couldn't take care of him, so he was awarded custody to the grandparents. So he lived with them for a good little while. And when he was a very, very young boy, he was playing in the driveway, and the grandfather accidentally ran him over. He broke his leg, and he ran over part of his skull or his head. And right after that, he was given, well, the courts put him in the custody of his aunt and uncle. Okay, now they ended up taking care of him, out in Roseboro, North Carolina, after all the proceedings and everything. Now, Buddy disappeared, like I said before, on October 5th, 2000, and his mom had died, around the time when he was living with them, but this was like after she died after he disappeared though, because they said that she was interviewed and said something about her son in the newspaper or whatever the case may be. It wasn't really completely sure, but I know that she had to have obviously died after he disappeared. So now, okay. Well, his mom died in an auto accident, basically. Now, with his aunt and uncle who was at work, his aunt was the kind of person who could definitely take care of a child, because what she did was she put an alarm system on the house, and she installed it and everything, and she got all the alarms put on the windows and stuff like that. So if he ever walked out the door, she'd know it. Because when you open the door, it goes like beep, 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 beep. And then when you close it, sometimes the new ones they got out now, when you open it, you hear the noise, but when you close it, you don't hear it. That's how it is with my alarm. When you open it up, you can hear the beep, but when you close it, you can't hear it. Normally back in the day, you could hear the beep go off when you open it and when you close it. But that's, like I said, that was old. Those were the old alarms. But anyway, let me see. Okay. Now they went to the store and came back on that same day when he vanished. Now, Buddy, after they got inside the house and everything, she put the food up. Buddy himself was in the house playing with their dog, with their small dog, on the floor. And the aunt herself was laying on the family sofa at the time. Buddy and the dog, they laid down as well, took a little nap. Now, she was watching him go to sleep, so she decided to take a 10-15 minute nap, And like 10 minutes later, when she thought she fell asleep, her phone rung, and it was her husband, calling to check up on him and everything, to make sure everything was all right, or they was all right. Hey, how you doing? How's it going? What's going on? Whatever the case may be. Okay, so she then wakes up fully. She happens to look down at the floor and see that the dog and Buddy are gone at that point. She looks through the house, because she knew that the alarm was still on the house, and so he couldn't have gotten out, because she would have heard the door open, she would have heard the windows open up. Didn't hear a thing. And see, that's another thing about a lot of these cases. Sound seems to be absent every time somebody's being taken, whether it's a little child or a grown person, man or woman. And that's the strangest part of a lot of these cases, to me personally, because if a person is being taken, you're going to hear them screaming behind the hand. You're going to be like, or you're going to hear them kicking and screaming and stuff like that, making a lot of noise, probably knock something over, but you don't ever hear that. You just hear, you don't hear anything. You just notice that the person just vanished, or they gone. You start looking outside trying to figure out, okay, where they go. They never found. It's weird. Okay, so after she realized that he was gone, now at this time, once again, just like the story with Bruce Sharon, it was a huge search. I think it said it was a total of like 2,000 people that were looking for that boy. Now, and at that point, still never found nothing. I say, like, after 5 days of the search, the dog Buddy, that he was playing with, came back without, Buddy, which was weird. Now, he appeared to have been fed and cleaned and didn't look like he'd been out in the wilderness at all. So he had to have been put somewhere, like inside of a house or in a car, you name it. I don't know. But he came back, like as if nothing happened. There was no mud on the feet. He was fed. He was fine. But there was no Buddy behind him at all. Okay, so now nothing else happened after like a total amount of 10 days, which is when the other dog came back. There was a little small dog. They had a small dog that was inside the house and a small dog that was on the outside of the house. He disappeared, and he came back, like I said, clean and fed, just like the last dog. Very baffling. Okay, now 2 weeks after, with that big search, he was never found. They couldn't find no trace of him at all. Now, both kids were in the presence of their aunt, at the time. So that's one of the biggest coincidences with these two stories. Okay, now in these cases of disappearing kids, they are in the presence of a relative or dogs, just like Dior. Now he was in the presence of his grandfather. He is a relative, not his parents, and he disappeared too. And I kept forgetting what state it was in. He was Leodore, it was in Ohio. Okay, so Leodore, Ohio. But yeah, that's about it on that story. Because they never found a trace of him since then. This happened in 2000. And here it is, 2017. No trace of him has ever been found. So with these cases of little kids disappearing, it's just as baffling as any other case, because we're talking about kids that don't know any better. They're seen in the yard playing, and all of a sudden everything get quiet and you can't find them. You start looking everywhere for them. You know how kids are. They like to wander. They're explorers by right. They see something, they're going to go after it. Just like if they see a bunny hopping around, they're going to run after that. And not saying that they would disappear, but they could easily get hit by a car if they're not careful. And that's the reason why we have to watch our kids 24/7, especially in cases like this. If you have a family, you have children who are in an area where people seem to just vanish without a trace, my eyes will be on my kids 24/7. I will never let them out of my sight at that point. But then again, I would never move to an area where I know there's a lot of disappearances at, and especially if the cluster system, as far as the clusters of areas where people disappear. Now, he's got a map where he got clusters on one side of the U.S. and the other side of the U.S. Straight down the middle, not one disappearance, which is the oddest part of all. How is it that almost every part of the U.S. has someone that disappeared in an area where they had marked down with pins, but that middle section of the U.S., not one disappearance, not one? And that's weird, because it seems too far-fetched for that to even happen, where there's one little thick line down the center of the U.S. is completely void of disappearing people. Young women, older women, young men, older men, and young children at around the ages of 2 and 4. But like I said, I didn't say this earlier, but this is weird, and I would love to try and find out what is happening to these children, because I have a daughter. Okay, I don't want nothing to happen to my little girl. She's gonna be 16 next month. But at the same time, if the park service, I put it like this: if the school system offered to take them on a field trip to a national park, she wouldn't be going, because they would have to get my consent first. I'm not paying for none of that. I'll tell them straight up, my daughter is not going to no national park. Why? Hello, have you not heard of all the people that's been disappearing in national parks all over the country, all over the world rather? Come on now, please. It may not be in the news, but trust me, it's out there. There's so many people that disappear in these national parks, and lo and behold, I bet you they probably want to say, let's take them to Yellowstone, because I've heard of the Park Service promoting vouchers they have for kids to come to the parks. That is not happening, trust me, because it's just too creepy. I don't want to go in the national forest or the national park, because if I go in, I may not come out. And I'm not saying that I know this for a fact, but I would think if you know a lot about the unknown and you can come up with an analogy that can actually break the case on all these disappearances and whatever it is that's actually doing this, you look at how they kill people. you look at the fact that not so much how they kill people, but how they turn up dead, and the surrounding evidence that tells you everything. And if the evidence is telling you that there's a body in the water with no cause of death on it, that means it wasn't a human, because no human on this planet can actually do that. They can't make a person die without leaving behind some kind of evidence like blood or guts, especially if they're using a weapon. But whoever this person is or thing is, he's using this weapon right here, his own mind, and I'm guessing that he or whatever it can actually use 100% of his brain capacity and do all kinds of crazy shit to all these people. You know, they turn up dead. But like I said, it's weird. It's weird. I mean, I don't have an answer to this. I'm pretty sure you guys don't have an answer to it, but that's what we're here for, to come up with all these analogies, and to come up with usable solutions as to what's going on here and why these people are being taken. But we have to step outside the box. You can't stay inside the box and be logical, because none of these cases have logic in it at all. It's totally illogical. So if you have a theory about what's going on here, well, I don't care how crazy it may seem, but it has to be credible. Not credible. It has to be something that you can actually say, oh, you got a point. Maybe that's it. But there's too many people out there who will say straight up, I know my son was kidnapped. I know my daughter was abducted. Yeah, but you forgot to leave out the fact that you know who did it. Okay, if you look at how the child was found, there is not one single criminal I know that could actually do that. I'm just saying, you know. So if you keep saying, "Oh, I know my son was kidnapped or abducted," who did it? That's the main question of the day, folks. Who did it? I don't know. That's what I have you guys for. You guys are supposed to help me. I help you. I pass you along information. You pass me along information. If it can solve the case, so be it. These cases are solvable, but you have to step outside of the box in order to figure out what's really going on, because this is totally supernatural. All of it is. There's no serial killers in the park. There's no any other reason why a person would be dead. Because you got everything is just a part of the unknown. This whole situation is part of the unknown. You can't solve it without using what's the word? You can't solve these cases without thinking illogically. You can't. It's impossible. Because if you look at how things are being done, it's not done in a logical way. I mean, how can a person be lying dead in a body of water, face down, with nothing but its shoes, underwear, and a shirt? No pants. Or socks, rather. So it's almost like someone grabbed hold of the pants. If they have the power to phase solid mass through solid objects, I would imagine they would just pull on the pants, and because they made the pants intangible, so it was able to pass through the human body. And they do these little things to confuse everyone. Because, I mean, if you look at a scene where a person has their shirt, underwear, and socks on, or shoes, but no pants, it's almost like they took off the shoes first, and pulled the pants down. They took them, they put the shoes back on, and that's it. But you never find out who it is. Like I said, I have no answers. I just have theories. So if you got something, you know what to do. Hit me up in the comment section below, and we can talk. We can toss a few ideas around. You know what I'm saying? See what's going on. All right. Well, that's my time, folks. I gotta go. I'm getting kind of sleepy because I've been up all day, and I gotta get up again tomorrow before I have to go to work and take care of some business. I'm a very busy man, my friends. And oh, by the way, to you, Kimstar66, and all my other viewers, I got my t-shirts coming in hopefully by the 27th, and I still got to work out the details on the pricing, so I will keep you guys posted on how I'm gonna go about that, because it has to be a reasonable price where I can basically, well, like I said, that's irrelevant, but I can talk about that on a later date. But anyway, like I said, I got my t-shirts coming in. I'm going to be promoting it every time I create a video. So you're going to see my logo right here in the center of my chest, you know, with the name going across the top. You know, if you seen the posts on my video, you'll see like a little circle with me standing, you know, and I'm fading away, and I got the name Insane Disappearances, 2 exclamation points, you know, going across the top, you know, in the arc. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys, I'm hoping that you guys know who this little boy is, Tristen Buddy Myers, and I hope you heard the story, because if you have, you know you'll be intrigued by what I just said about, you know, the case and everything. Like I tell everyone, I don't promote any cheesy information. I don't never do that. I want to get the facts in first, and I leave it up to you to come up with your own theory on why this child is missing. David Paulides says the same thing, because he just writes the facts in the books, and it's up to you to listen to the facts or read the facts and be like, wait a minute. And you start to think, but you start thinking on a level where the thought is way out there, because there is no other logical way for that to happen. It's physically not done by the human race, so it's got to be something else. I don't know what, but it's got to be something else. And if you know what it is, you know what to do. Hit me up, hit me with them thumbs up, comment below, you know, subscribe to my channel, tell your friends about me. I say this every day. You know, even I know you guys are already doing your things. I really appreciate that, because I'm at 140 subscribers right now. Oh, 142. So I want to welcome all the other people that joined my channel. I want to say welcome. I hope you enjoy my videos. You know, like I say, it doesn't get any more cut and dry than this. When I read from a book, or if I tell you a story about something, it is very credited by the Missing 411 books, especially A Sobering Coincidence, or I may get something from the internet. Okay, now I know I haven't done the past, and future like stories from that date all the way back to the 1600s. I'm gonna start getting back into that. I just there was some other stuff I had to take care of first. I had to get some video time in for the topics that I had been talking about the past couple of days, like Christopher Thompson, the young high school kid from Valdosta. His name escapes me right now. I know that name so well. Oh, I hate having a brain fart. Shoot, what was his name? Kendrick. His name was Kendrick. Okay, so I talked about him and a couple of other ones, you know. So, like I said, I hope you enjoy my channel, and I will definitely make sure that I post videos that have accurate information. I don't want to ad-lib anything unless I add some flair to the video with my hyped up attitude, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But I gotta go, guys. I spent a lot of time on this video, not enough. I wish it was about an hour, but I could also read, you know, another story to go with it. But like I said, I'm kind of sleepy right now. I need to kind of doze off a little bit and get a little bit of rest. So I will see you guys again on the next video. Aloha, mahalo, and ahuiho. Peace out, guys. Be safe, be blessed, and have a great sleep.